Hi, my name is Tarun and I'm from 94.3 Radio 1. I host the show that's called Good Morning Pune. I interview a lot of people as my profession. It's very rare that I get interviewed, and today is one such day. And interviewing me is this lovely bunch, four youngsters. Tell me your names and what's the plan?
Hello, I'm Nikita.
Myself Aditi,
Myself Parth.
I am Nitish.
and we all are going to interview RJ Tarun sir. So let's begin with the questions.
Let's begin.
So, firstly, I would like to ask you that I would love if you outline your hosting style,
My-
RJ style.
My hosting style.
Yes.
It depends day to day. It depends on my mood. It depends on what's happening in the world. It also depends on what day of the week is it. Mondays are tough.
So, can you give perform once?
Yeah, sure, I can. For example, recently I was talking about, today morning I was talking about artificial intelligence and how it's taking on the world. Have you heard of ChatGPT?
Yes.
So there's a couple in the US who got their marriage done, the wedding done by ChatGPT. So I'll tell you what I exactly said on it. Yeah. Hi, I'm Tarun. This is 94.3 Radio 1 और पता चला है कि GPT ने एक कपल की शादी यूएस में कराई. मैं सुबह उठता हूँ सोचता हूँ कि आज चैट जीपीटी से क्या पूछना चाहिए, हाउ क्रिएटिवली आई कैन आस्क चैट जीपीटी व्हाट क्वेश्चंस. कभी कभी तो इतना बोर हो जाता हूँ तो मैं कहता हूँ कि टेल मी व्हाट क्वेश्चन शुड आई आस्क यू एंड इट गिव्स रियली इंटरेस्टिंग आंसर्स. But interestingly, this couple appointed ChatGPT as the officiator for their marriage. Now the question is, हम लोग सोच रहे थे कि artificial intelligence जब आएगा तो किस किस के jobs जाने वाले हैं, right? Engineers परेशान हो रहे थे, doctors परेशान हो रहे थे, creative लोग परेशान हो रहे थे, but a priest उनको पता भी नहीं चला और ChatGPT उनकी जगह ले ली है. Let's see what's in store. And of course then I said, if you are listening to me, you tell me what are you using ChatGPT for, and people started asking questions and various different things.
Your voice is really nice.
Thank you so much. All right, who's next?
So let us explore a few questions. So firstly, how was your journey from being a common man to our professional RJ?
It was very interesting because nobody can really predict somebody's going to be an RJ because it's very tough to get in radio. And our radio jockeys are also common people, by the way. It's not fair to say common man versus a radio jockey because we're very common, very natural, flesh and blood, just like you. But how did it happen? Right from the beginning, when I was in school, I took any opportunity that I got to get on a stage and speak and perform. Wherever there was a debate, elocution, drama, singing, I'll go for it. Never said no to anything. Okay, so that's how it started. My love for speaking. Then I was very fond of music, so I started. My first career choice was being a DJ. Yeah, I used to play music, remix songs, make music, and that's how somebody discovered me. They found me in a party and they said, "You make really good music. Can you do it for us as a radio station?" Which I did. And then slowly, when I was working inside a radio station, I saw that there are people who get paid to talk. That was very exciting.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I want to learn this. Then I spent a couple of years learning that, recorded my voice every day for hours, practiced, and then I got a once in a week show, like a 2 hours in a week kind of a show. Did that for some time, for 6 months to 1 year. Then they said, you're doing it well, let's give you a daily show. But in the afternoon, which is not the time when people listen to radio much. But then I did that for about a couple of years. And then they said, okay, you've been doing this very well, we'll give you the morning show, which means the radio's prime time. So since then, I've been doing the morning show. That's how I. It's a long story, I've told you short.
Cool journey.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That was
It's
a
very
fabulous journey.
Yeah.
That's great, but I'm curious to know that did your parents support in doing so?
They did. Interestingly, they did. They wanted me to study and take a job in a bank or a company, like a regular stuff. But when I told my mother She was very supportive of it.
Because many people don't think RJ as a career option.
Yeah, she was not in
That's
favor
a
of it.
unique thing.
Yeah, she was not in favor of it earlier. She said nobody can make career in music and in radio. It's not easy. It's not possible. It's not very sustainable. But then when she realized, oh, this is happening and it worked, then she was very happy.
I would. So I would like to ask you that, how was your first interview? Like when you interviewed someone, who was the person, and like, were you nervous about it, or were you very confident that yeah, it's your first interview?
I don't remember the first interview, but I remember one of the first interviews was Kapil Sharma, the comedy
Yeah.
king Kapil Sharma, and that was when he had just won the comedy show for the first time, and I had not interviewed a lot of big celebrities, so to say. So I was a little nervous, but what I did is I planned everything. I wrote down all the questions, and it went really well. And he was very friendly, so that kind of helped me. After that, I've interviewed a lot of people. Some very tough, some politicians, some really big officers, some officers from the army, some people from all over the world. Really biggest of the sports people. Yeah.
Yes, we saw your story on Instagram.
Yeah.
You met a lot of athletes.
A lot of athletes.
And
Yes.
like your love for IPL is also a
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. For IPL, for most of the films that release. I'm going to interview Sunny Deol in a few days for Gadar 2. The film is yet to come, but we will interview him.
I would like to ask that when you started doing the shows, did people support you? Means how did they feedback about it?
Feedback, because like I told you, it was a very step-by-step kind of a process. I only used to host one show only on weekends. Very few people heard it. But some of them they liked. Some of them may have not. But the people who liked, I kept talking to them on a daily basis. I kept in touch. And they were the people who were supporting me. Very few people, 10, 20, 50 people in the beginning. And when they got to know that their favorite RJ is now going to host a daily show, they got really happy for me. Yeah, and so they started supporting me more. And then because it was a daily show, I got a wider audience. More people started listening to me. So I got a bigger supporters base. And then slowly I got a bigger show, which means a bigger base. So supporters increase very slowly. Initially you're all by yourself. When you tell your plans to somebody that you want to do something big, people tend to laugh. But one or two people will support you. Those are your real friends, those are your real supporters. And then you keep them happy, you make sure that you respect their support and value it and just hold on to it. And if you do that for long enough, you get enough people supporting you, loving you, that you'll make it.
Like as you said, during your academics, you loved dancing, music.
Not dancing.
Okay,
I
singing.
can't dance.
Okay, singing, then music and all. Then afterwards, you said that you wanted to make your career in DJ. But during that, once someone said that you be in RJ, what made you think that you should be career in RJ?
I should change my career path.
Yeah.
So what happened is I was very fond of making music. I love music. I still do. But when I was offered to work at a radio station, it was not to be an RJ. It was to make music for them, to remix song for them. So the job was the same. I just got a nicer place to work at. So it was an easy choice for me. But when I was there, I realized that there are more options here. Like when I was growing up, I had no idea about how to be a radio jockey. Nobody has. There are very few spots. So slowly I learned, and the transition happened very slowly. It's how you, when you were 5 years old, your choices must be different. When you got older, you learned a few more things. You learned about the world, and now you probably you enjoy something else, right?
Yes.
And let me tell you, the older you grow, your choices, the things that you like, keeps changing. You keep evolving.
So what are the things that the RJ needs to bear in his mind always?
All the things, all the time. So my catchphrase on radio is they say that "Akha pune manta hai, Tarun sab janta hai." So that's one of those things that you have to keep in mind. You have to know whatever is happening in the world. Cricket happening, okay, you need to know the game. There's a new film coming up, you need to know about it. Something happening with the technology, you need to read about that as well. This is why I read a lot of books, I try and meet a lot of people, I have a lot of friends, I explore a lot. Anything new, I want to learn. That's the toughest part of the job. It's not speaking on, when sitting on the mic and speaking, it doesn't take much time. The preparation behind that takes a long time.
Well, very enthusiastic journey.
Very interesting. It ends on. It's every day it shows you a new opportunity, new something, new challenge.
How did means your confidence build up? Means if you are interviewing for someone for first time, you don't have that much confidence. But when you interview, means who was the one with whom you interviewed that your confidence got boosted?
It gets better every time you
Yeah.
interview somebody. Like how you play football, every time you go to the field, you spend an hour there. When you come out of the game, you're a little better. You're a little better every day. How you come to school, learn a few chapters every day, and then when you're a little wiser going out of the school today than you were early in the morning when you entered, right?
Yes.
This is a daily process. You learn a little bit, but you learn 200 days in a year. And every day you're a little better. Every day you know a little more in science, a little more in maths, a little more in arts, right? That's what you do in school. You must have learned a few things today. If you do that every day, you keep getting better. Same with interviews. The more you do it, the better you get. There's a 3-word quote that I really like. Victory loves preparation. Victory loves preparation. So if you prepare a lot, victory really likes it. It will come to you.
So, what would be what can you give us advice for pursuing our careers? Like, how can we pursue our careers and whatever interest we have in? So, can you advise us for that?
Yeah, sure. First, do whatever you like. You can be whatever you want to be. There is no limit. Just think of it and you'll be. There is just what happens is generally we tend to think, oh my god, there's such a huge gap between who you are right now and who you want to be. Right? Suppose if you want to be a radio jockey, you may listen to me talking, interacting, and feel, oh, I cannot be that. No, you cannot be. Not today. But if you work long enough, you'll get there. Just start walking. And the second is, if you want to do something, if you have the plan in mind already, do not wait that I'll go out of school and do it, I'll go to a college and then pass out with a degree and then pursue that dream. Start from today. If you want to be an engineer, do not wait that you'll pass out of the school and go to an engineering college. Just figure out what is it that engineers do. They make things. Right? Software engineer makes softwares, mechanical engineer makes machines, civil engineers make stuff. Start making stuff from today. When we were younger, people used to ask, "Beta, bade hoke kya banoge?" Right? Beta, why don't you start today? Internet, YouTube, there's all kinds of resources. Your teachers are there. Just start doing things. If you want to be a scientist, start experimenting today. Do smaller experiments, but do it from today.
So what were your strategies when you started doing RJ show?
Strategies were simple. Just keep doing it because it's a very tough thing. I start my show at 7 in the morning, which means I have to wake up at 5 in the morning. By 6:30 I have to be in office every day. Rain, shine, anything. It has to happen. Holi, Diwali, every day. The show has to happen. I'll give you an example of a few days ago. Palki was in Pune,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So what happened is, from the on the day when it leaves from Pune, uh, they block all the roads,
Yeah.
and they block the road from between my house to the studio. 6:30 in the morning, I did not know how to go, and I had to start the show in half an hour. I tried going from a few places, and time was getting over. I just did not know what to do. Then I parked my car wherever it was on the side of the road and walked through that and went to office, did my show, came back, picked my car later. And so you just have to go at it. Yeah. There's a new plan every day. Because life is new every day. You can't plan for tomorrow.
Have you committed any mistake during your
Yeah, I have.
conversation?
Yeah, all of us do. But the trick is in making amends on the way. You have to think on your feet. You have to be able to quickly come up with something. If you said something wrong, probably crack a joke on yourself.
Yes.
You know, if I, for example, if I would have done a mistake today, I would have said, "Oh my God, today I've had a lot of Monday already." You know, I think I'm still not over from the weekend. I think I need one more nap. Something. My coffee is not kicked in yet.
Yeah.
Something. So you just make a joke on yourself and move on. Yeah.
And 2 years pandemic was there, so how did you means think? How did means you started your radios in pandemic also?
Very interesting thing we did. We moved some equipment to our homes. So we arranged a laptop and a mic that could connect to it, and we started doing show from there. Even before the lockdown happened, uh, our company decided that all of our radio jockeys are going to do their shows from home. We called it RJ curfew, like Janta curfew.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it was before Janta curfew. We did it 1 week before Janta curfew. We started doing our show from home, and it was so good that the Prime Minister so we posted a picture of 15, 16 of our radio jockeys. My picture was also there, and Prime Minister tweeted it that this is a wonderful initiative, and I'll encourage all of everyone in the country to follow their lead. So it was wonderful. We did it for about 2 months. I did my show from home, but then after 2 months, they said that essential services can go out and they can go to work, and media is an essential service. So I could go out and go to the studio and do the show.
To create new radio shows means you have to be in contact with everything, means every surrounding, what the people are doing. So in lockdown you were at home. So how did you imagine the content and how did you create it?
I speak about whatever I feel. So in the pandemic, whatever I felt, I spoke about. I even spoke about my maid not coming. You know, what a big problem it was. And there were society people in my society. There were people who were fighting with the security staff to let their maid in. It was a big crisis. So I speak about things that are happening in our daily lives. That's what I do. So whatever my experience is, whatever my mood is, it will reflect on my show. This is why I try and stay happy and positive, so as to make everyone's day.
So what was your greatest strength?
My greatest strength is that I'm very hungry to learn. I always want to learn. So I will probably learn a few things from you today, take it back with me, use it in my show someday.
That's it.
Like a sponge.
Ready.
Okay. So would you like to ask any question to us on any of this?
Yeah. One question to all of you. What do you want to do in your life? Okay. And what is stopping you from starting on it from today?
Start.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I am quite interested in sports, but there's parents that they tell you have to score good marks. You can't earn if you go sports. It is luck factor in sports.
Which sport?
I love personally cricket.
I want to be NDA. I want to be an army man. So my fitness is lacking. So because of that, I am not able to.
Hmm. Is it a medical condition or is it just because you're not
No,
practicing enough?
I am not practicing enough. Yes.
Actually, I have I have a two I don't understand. Like I have an interest in talking a lot. Like you have like I love speaking. I love learning different accents all over the country,
Hmm.
and then also I love like government jobs. Like I want to personally become a pilot, but still I have an interest in this field also. But like both are pulling me, so that's something.
I want to pursue my career as CA, and according to me, right now my first priority is studying. And apart from CA, I want to help the poor people. And right now also I am helping, as I am getting the money in my piggy bank and all, I am trying my best to help them.
Wonderful. So you have a clear set of goals in mind. You want to be a CA. You want to study for that. Keep studying. Keep that in mind. The things that CAs do. Can you start learning about it right now? And as far as health goes, money is not the only way to help. You've learned so much already. You go to school. You're very smart. You can even if you teach somebody, even if you give away a book, right? That's help. Try and do once something every day, small, just make someone smile. It's help, right? And for you, it's not either or. You can do both of them. Study very well. Focus on what you want to do as a government official. Keep doing that. But that is not going to stop you from sparing out 30 minutes in a day to practice different accents, do all the drama in your room. Close the latch, switch on your camera or whatever. Just practice it. Camera not to post it later somewhere. If you want, you can. But until then, at least for you to review if it is looking good or not, and then you can ask your friends, ये देख कैसा है, अच्छा है कि नहीं. If they're good friends, they'll give you good and bad feedback. Learn, improve. For you, half an hour, 1 hour every day of workout doesn't take much. If you start building from today, by the time you're appearing for an exam, you will be very strong. It's just eat good food, avoid junk food, right? Just get on it from today. Maintain a written journal, write your progress, make an Excel sheet. On 3rd of July, I used to weigh this much, I could run this much, I could lift this much weight. Is it better on 4th? Is it better 1 week later? Just measure all that. 1 year, you'll not recognize yourself. You'll get so good at it. And for you, education is very, very important. It's very important. When your parents say study, please do. But I'm sure your parents will send you to play for an hour at least. And in that hour, when you're playing with 10 people in your society or wherever, make sure that you're best in that group. You're the best batsman or bowler or whatever you want to do. When you will consistently be the best of all of them for 6 months, 1 year, tell your parents see, this is what I want to do. I'm very good at it. This is the group of society where I play, and I'm the best player. Now I want to compete with better players, probably at an academy. Send me an hour there every day. Find a place where there are better players than you. Right? If you want to be better, you'll have to play with players that are better than you. But get best here, then get best here, then get best player, become best player in 2 days. Right? Then IPL will pick you up. And you play the best there. Like Ruturaj Gaikwad is a Pune boy.
Yes. Sangvi. Right now he's a team captain of Sangvi.
And played so well.
Yes.
There is nothing stopping him from getting in the team now.
He's even selected for T20.
But start small. If you think right now you can get in IPL, no. But in 4-5 years, by the time you grow up, and if you keep learning, even if you don't get there, But in the meantime, you'll become something. You'll get better, and of course, you're studying to be something else as well. Like I said, don't do one thing. I don't do one thing, by the way. I do radio. Apart from that, I make films. I do photography. I host live shows as an MC. I do a lot of voiceovers. I dub for films. Right now, I'm in the process of building a community of artists. Yeah, and we're collecting books for students. It's apart from all this,
Yes.
trying to help also at the same time. Every day you help, every day you work out, every day you study, every day you play. Don't postpone anything for later. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Yeah, and you might be motivated right now because I've told you so many things. But please remember that motivation doesn't last long.
Yeah.
2 दिन बाद हवा निकल जाती है. So what stays is habit. How you brush every day. Nobody needs to tell you now. Make it a habit. Habit stays. Motivation, not so much. I'll keep coming once in a while to motivate, but make it a habit. See how you can make it a habit. There's a book recommendation. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic means very small. Habits. We have to just get this better today. 1%. By the end of the year, this will be there, right? That's what we want to do with ourselves.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
sir.
It was great to talk to you.
So this is how my interview went. I loved being interviewed, and then I got to interview them, ask them questions. This was wonderful. I think Priyadarshani school and their students are very impressive. If you study here, congratulations, you found a good school. And if you don't, come study here, and I'll see you soon.